Hi everyone, good day. In this video, I'll show you how to submit your expense reimbursement requests using the JustLogin Mobile App. Before we proceed with the demo, let me first share the steps you need to follow when submitting an expense claim. Step 1 is to create the expense claim. Here, you'll need to provide details such as the expense category, the amount, the transaction date, a description, and any supporting documents you want to upload for review. Step 2 is to create an expense report and add the claim to it. In this step, you'll set the business purpose and the date coverage of the report. Once the report is ready, you need to add the expense claim you created in Step 1. Step 3 is to submit the expense report. This final step officially submits your claim. Once submitted, the approving officer will receive a notification that a claim is awaiting their review. These are the steps you need to remember and follow when submitting an expense claim. The process is the same whether you are using the website or the mobile app. Let's move on to the demo on how to submit an expense claim using the mobile app. First, you'll need to install the Just Expense app from the Google Play Store or Apple App Store on your device. Once the app has been successfully installed, log in by entering your company ID, user ID, and password. The credentials you'll use to log into this app are exactly the same as the ones you use to log into the website or the main JustLogin app. Once you've logged into the app, you'll be taken to the home page. At the top, you'll see your profile picture and full name, as well as a bell icon in the upper right-hand corner. You can tap on this bell to view all the notifications you've received in the app. Take note that this app isn't just for the expense module. If your company is also using the benefit module, you'll be using the same app to submit your benefit claims as well. So, some of the notifications you receive here may also be related to benefits. Now, back to the home page. The first section you'll see is the expense overview, where you can view the number of unreported expense claims and unsubmitted expense reports associated with your account. The next section is the recent expenses, where you'll find the latest expenses you've submitted, whether through the website or the mobile app. You'll also see an Add Expense button, which allows you to create a new expense claim directly. This will be part of our Step 1 later. Below that is the Recent Reports section, where you can view all the latest reports you've created, either through the website or the mobile app. You'll also notice an Add Report button, which you can use to create a new expense report. This will be part of our Step 2 later. Finally, at the bottom of the page, you'll find the Benefit Overview section, and that covers everything on the homepage of the app. Now, I'll show you how to submit your expense claim using the mobile app. Let's start with Step 1, creating an expense claim. There are two ways to create an expense claim from the app. The first way is by tapping the Add Expense button located beside the Recent Expenses section. This allows you to directly enter the expense details. The second way is by tapping the Expenses icon, which is the second icon on the bottom menu. This will take you to the Expenses page, where you can view all the expenses you've submitted using your account. From here, tap the green plus sign button to add a new expense. Either method will allow you to start creating and entering your expense details. Now, let's discuss in the details of our expense claim in the app. First, you'll need to choose the category of your claim. This is a mandatory field. Tap on the category field and you'll see a list of all available categories set up in your company account. Choose the category that best matches your claim. Next, enter the transaction date in the Date field, followed by the amount you are claiming. After that, select the tax option. Please note that the tax options available here will depend on your company's configuration, whether the claim is taxable or non-taxable. Once the tax has been selected, proceed to the Merchant field. This is where you'll specify where the expense was incurred. For example, if it's a food expense, you can enter the restaurant name. If it's a transportation expense, you can indicate the gas station or the transport service provider where the payment was made. Next is the Reference Number field. This is where you can add a receipt number, transaction number, or any identifying number that appears on the receipt. After that, fill in the Location field. Indicate the place where the expense was made. This can be a specific city or a more detailed location. Then, move on to the description field. Here, you can explain the purpose of the expense and provide additional details about the claim you're submitting. You'll also see an Add to Report option where you can select an existing report to add this claim to. However, we'll discuss this in more detail later since this will be covered in Step 2. The next field is Add to Project. This option will only appear if it's enabled in your system. It allows you to tag an expense to a specific project for reporting purposes. If this field is not enabled for your company, you can simply skip it. Please note that the fields you see in your app may differ slightly from what I'm showing here, as these can be customized by your company. Some fields may be hidden depending on your company's setup. Once you've completed the details, you'll see a camera icon on the screen. This is for adding attachments. When you tap on it, you'll have three options. Select Photo to choose an image from your gallery, Open Camera to take a photo directly, or Open File to upload documents. You can attach different types of files such as images, documents, Excel files, or PDFs. After adding your attachment, you'll see two buttons at the bottom, Save and Submit. Now, let me finish my example. For the category, I'll select Meals and Entertainment. The date will be set to October 1st, and the amount will be $200. For the tax, I'll select GST 9%. For the merchant, I'll enter McDonald's. For the reference number, I will add here REF 456. For the location, I'll add Singapore. And for the description field, I will add Food for Team Lunch. I won't be adding this to any report or linking it to any project for now. For the attachment, I'll tap on the camera icon and choose Select Photo so I can upload a picture from my gallery. After selecting the file, I'll click Done. If you want to add more photos, you can tap the small plus icon beside the attachment. You can also delete any uploaded photo if needed. Once that's done, you'll notice there are two buttons at the bottom. Save and Submit. Here's the difference between the two options. If you click on the Save button, it means you're creating the expense claim, but you're not submitting it for approval yet. The claim will remain as a draft in your record. When you're ready to submit it for approval, that's when you'll proceed with Step 2 and Step 3 separately. On the other hand, if you click the Save and Submit button, the claim will be immediately routed for approval to your assigned approving officer. It will also direct you right away to complete Step 2 and Step 3. In this first example, I'll be using the Save and Submit method so you can see the process. Later on, I'll create another example to show you how to submit a claim using the Save method. For now, I'll go ahead and click Save and Submit. After clicking, you'll be prompted to add the report details, and this is the Step 2, which is to create a report. For the title, enter a short name or description that summarizes what the expenses are for. Next, set the period coverage or date range for the report. For example, if your report only covers one day, then it will only be valid for that day. If you select a broader range, like October 1st to October 31st, the system will allow you to reuse the same report for all claims submitted within that period. Lastly, add a short business purpose, a brief explanation of what the expense was for and why it was incurred. Once all the details are complete, click the Save button at the top, and this will be the Step 3, which is to submit the claim. You'll then be routed to the Expenses page, which is the second icon on the bottom menu. Here, you'll see the newly created record, in this example, Meals and Entertainment, listed at the top. If you click on it, you'll be able to view the full details, including the status, which now shows as Submitted, the amount, and under the More Details tab, you can review everything you've entered. You can also check the History tab to view the submission trail. That was the Save and Submit method. Now let's go back to the home page and I'll show you another example. This time we'll use the Save method, where we'll go through Step 1, Step 2, and Step 3 separately. Let's start by creating a new expense. For the category, I'll select fuel or mileage expenses. Next, I'll enter the date, which is October 1st. The amount is 75, and then choose the appropriate tax code. For the merchant, I'll use Grab. For the reference number, I will add 2772468 as the booking code. For location, I'll use Jewel Changi Airport. And for the description, I'll enter business trip. I won't be selecting any project for this example. Then I'll click the camera icon, select photo, and attach the receipt. Now, I'll click the Save button. Once you click Save, it will complete step 1, which is creating the expense claim. You'll then be redirected to the Expenses menu, where you can now see the fuel or mileage expense that I just created. You'll notice the amount, and the status shows unreported. This means the claim has been saved as a draft and hasn't been submitted for approval yet. That completes our step 1. To proceed with step 2, we'll now create the expense report. From the bottom menu, tap the third icon, which is Reports. In this section, you'll see all the reports you've created in the past. To create a new report, tap the green plus sign. Then, fill in the following details. Title. Enter a short description of what the report is for. Duration from 2. Select the date range the report will cover. Business purpose. Briefly describe what the expenses are for. Once done, click Save. After saving, you'll see your newly created report appear at the top of the list. You'll notice that the amount still shows 0 and the status is unsubmitted. That completes step 2. Next, we'll move to step 3, which is to submit the claim for approval. To do this, click on the recent report you just created. You'll see that the amount is still 0, the status is unsubmitted, and the reimbursable amount is 0. Now click the blue Include Expense button. You'll then see a list of all the unsubmitted expense claims you've created. Locate the one we created earlier, in this case, the lodging expense, and tap the round checkbox beside it. Then click Include. After including it, the report will update automatically. You'll now see the amount changed while the status remains unsubmitted. Under the Expenses tab, you'll see the expense details, including the amount before tax, tax amount, and amount after tax. You can also open the More Details tab to review all information, or check the History tab to see the submission trail. If everything looks correct and you're ready to proceed, click the Submit button to officially submit the report for approval. Wait for the system to process and you'll receive a confirmation message that says Report submitted successfully. You'll also notice that the recent report at the top of your list now shows the status as submitted. If you ever realize that you've made a mistake or need to update some details, you can recall the report as long as it hasn't been approved yet by your approving officer. To do that, simply click Recall and you'll see a confirmation message saying Report successfully recalled. Now let's explore more features of the Just Expense app. Go back to the home page. On the lower middle part of the screen, you'll see a camera icon. This is the AI-powered receipt scanning feature. This smart technology makes expense tracking accurate and hassle-free by allowing you to submit an expense simply by taking or uploading a photo of your receipt. The AI-powered receipt scanning feature automatically captures key details such as the merchant's name, transaction date, amount, and expense category. It will automatically create the expense claim, which completes only step 1, creating the expense claim. You'll still need to proceed with step 2 and step 3 to officially submit your claim. Now, let's do an example using this feature. Prepare your receipt, then tap the camera icon and capture it using the green button. You can retake the photo or click Done to proceed. If you already have a photo of your receipt, you can simply tap the camera icon and select a photo from your device to upload. Once you've taken or uploaded your receipt, click the Upload button to submit your claim. You'll receive a message on the screen that says Upload Success. Click OK to close the message. To check if your expense has been submitted, click the Expenses tab, the second menu. The scanning process may take a short while, so please wait until the expense appears as ready. One thing to take note of when using the receipt scanning feature is that your receipt must be clear and readable. The details should be visible because if the image is blurry or unclear, the system may categorize it as an uncategorized expense. If that happens, you can simply click on the unrecognized expense, then tap Edit to manually add the correct details. However, if your receipt is clear and readable, the system will automatically capture all the necessary information, and you can proceed directly to step 2 to continue submitting your claim. That covers the AI-powered receipt scanning feature. Now, if you click on the More menu, you'll see your name and role. In my case, my role is Submitter. You'll also find several other options here. Expense transport is used to submit transportation expenses. This option will only appear if your company has chosen to separate regular expense claims from transport claims, as the transport claim form is more detailed. Benefit claims is to allows you to review all your benefit claim records. Access. JustLogin app will open the main JustLogin app. Refresh is to refresh configurations. Switch user is available only if the admin has granted permission for you to submit claims on behalf of your colleagues, but this is usually for admins only. Enable Touch ID allows you to use Touch ID for quick access to the app. Language lets you change the language to Chinese if preferred. Sign out used to log out of the app. And that's everything you need to know about using the Just Expense mobile app. Thank you so much for watching.